Hey guys, today's video is going to be about what is metabolism. Often I think people don't actually know what metabolism is, and you'll very frequently hear people throw around having a good metabolism or a bad metabolism, but they don't know what metabolism is. So hopefully this can kind of get you to understand what metabolism is made up of. So hopefully you guys can read this. At the top there we've got total energy expenditure, so everything beneath that is what's going to contribute to your TDEE. Next we've got exercise activity thermogenesis, so this is our structured exercise, going to the gym, going for a run, that sort of thing. This is going to contribute a little bit to our total energy expenditure, but I think often it gets overblown as to how much it will contribute. Next we've got our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, so this is everything outside of the gym. Think of things like hoovering, gardening, walking, standing, fidgeting. All of these things are going to contribute to our non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and often this is what I get people to try and look at to help increase their metabolism, as it has quite the contribution to our TDEE. We've also got our thermic effect of food. So digesting food is going to burn calories in the process. This is where I get people to think about taking on protein, because this has the highest thermogenic effect of the macronutrients versus fat and carbohydrates. You'll be burning up to 30% of the calorie intake of protein, whereas with carbohydrates and fats, it's up to about 15% of the calorie intake. So you can see already when someone's looking at trying to get into fat loss and create the calorie deficit, protein is substantially better. And then last and certainly not least is your basal metabolic rate. So this is the calories burnt in simply keeping you alive. This will depend on many different things: your age, your gender, your weight. Of your weight, what makes up fat-free mass, so looking at muscle, and then your other mass, which is going to include things like fat, but also organs and so forth. These all have to be kept alive, kept at certain temperatures and so forth. That will be metabolizing energy, so using up calories. So of all of those things, as I've said earlier, the thing that we can really change most is our neat calorie expenditure. So, like I said, the gym I think often gets overblown in how many calories get burnt. I don't even get people looking at their calorie burn in the gym because it's very difficult to measure, and it only contributes 1 hour out of the day. Most people's workouts last an hour. We've got another 15 hours in our typical waking day to be active, and that's where non-exercise activity thermogenesis really plays its role. The easiest way to make sure we're keeping our calorie expenditure up is by walking, so we can look at step counting. So I would suggest certainly looking at your behavior outside of the gym, outside of your structured exercise, to help contribute to our total energy expenditure. So when someone says that they have bad metabolism, I often then say, well, what are you doing outside of the gym? That's going to be more my concern than what they do in the gym, because of this whole calorie expenditure contribution via needs. The other thing as well is how much are you eating? You have to be in a deficit to be losing fat. Often when people say, oh, I don't eat much in the day, chances are they're probably binge eating later on in the day to make up for that lack of calories throughout the day. So we need to change their behavior when it comes to eating as well. That's going to be number one. Number two, that's when we're going to look at NEAT. And then I would start saying, look at your resistance training routine, because we need to keep our body composition in terms of muscle. We don't want to be losing that by going into a deficit and having tons of our non-exercise activity thermogenesis as well, because none of these things are going to be preserving much muscle. Yes, we want to keep the protein up, but to keep on even more muscle, that's where our resistance training protocol will be playing a very big role in. So I don't want to go too much off topic here, I think I already have. Going back to what metabolism is, hopefully all of this has given you understanding of why I don't think people have a good or a bad metabolism. It's behavior, and that might be predetermined via genetics in terms of their behavior. There's going to be a bit of nurture as well, of course, in terms of their behavior. But start thinking about all those hours that you spend sitting down doing nothing. Maybe you could be walking, increasing your energy expenditure via NEAT. I hope all of that has made sense. Hopefully I'm going to do a few more videos that are kind of further delving into this sort of topic and answering a few questions. Thanks for watching.